This conference will now be recorded.
Hi all, very good day, happy Monday. Welcome back to our day 2 session. So let me start sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Can?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, great. Uh, yep. So before we go on to day 1, I don't have day 1 opened. Okay, let me open day 1. Yep. So day 1 we covered on JavaScript. The JavaScript basics, the knowledge of what is there, what all things that we can utilize with, how to install and how to run the scripts, and the basics of variables, the keywords that we had, and then the operators. In operators, we covered the arithmetic operators. Today we will go over the remaining other operators in the order. Let me open day 2. Yeah. So in day 2, we will be going over the assignment operator, then with the logical operators and then the comparison operator. So going on with the assignment operators, we had already used this. So if you had seen, we were trying to assign the variables some value. So we had utilized the equal assignment operator already. Then we will go over the next ones. If you don't have your Visual Studio open yet, you can open it. Inside that, we will create a file. Now it is the assignment operators. Oh dear. Okay. So for assignment operator, the very first one that I was telling about is, let's say I gave something like this. So this is directly just assign. You're not performing any actions here. It is only like you're assigning the value to A. That is this one. The next one is plus equal to. Let's go to that. Say suppose you want to add some value to it. So it's like as A equal to whatever the value is, that is whatever A is having, plus some other number, and back assign it back to A. So in that case, it will be like A plus 2 or maybe 20. Now instead of giving A twice, you can also give like this. A space, then oh sorry, not no space, plus equal to 20. That means you are adding whatever the value is there to A, back to A, and that will become 50. So in this case, we have already added and assigned it to A, so that will be 50. Then now A has 50. Here what will be the answer? A will have 70. So let's console.log of A. This way you can reduce calling A twice. Here we are calling it twice, right? Instead of doing that, you can do this way also. It's a simple simpler way of assigning the value. So how to execute this? Go to terminal, new terminal, and now here node space operators and then assignment. Now we have got 70. Having said this, let's go with the next one. If anybody has any question, you can ask here or we can cover it at last. One second, I'm having an issue with the system. Okay, yeah. So the next one would be minus equal to. The same way what we did, the same way minus also works. So a minus equal to, remember there should be no space between what you are trying to give, the variable and the operators. Minus equal to 10, then console dot log of a. Now we are expecting some response, that is 60 here. Are we clear so far? The same applies with the rest of other three operations, that is star equal to, multiply equal to, divide equal to, and percentage equal to. It does the same job. So we will not cover that. That will come as an assignment for you. We will go over the next one. The next one will be the logical operators. Let's create one, logical operators.js. So back to our, so you can see the logical operators here. So the logical operators you would have already used in your college or maybe any time. Basically what it does is ampersand ampersand, which means and. That means you give two conditions, first one and the second one, both should be true for you to get the response as true. For any other condition, whether it is first one is false or second one is false or both are false, you will get as false. So let's go over this. So for this var a equal to, let me give 10 and b equal to 5 for now. So let's check console.log of a is greater than b and b is less than a. That means a being 10 is greater than b. Yes, it is true. Then b is less than a, that is 5 less than 10. That is also true. We are expecting the response to be true. Let's check this. See, we got the answer as true. Now, if I give something like b is also greater than a, this condition definitely will not make any sense, right? Because 10 can never be greater than, sorry, 5 can never be greater than 10. So our condition is like this, and 5 is greater than 10. Will that be possible? No. So we will get false. And in the next case, now I'll try the other way around, where we are saying 10 is less than 5 in both the sense, in both the case. So that time also it will return false. Both the cases are false. here, oh sorry, B less than A. Though the first condition is false and second condition is true, then also we will get false. That's about AND operator. Now let's over to, maybe for your reference you can either type it in one below the other, you can do that as well, so later on you can refer it. Now we will go on to OR operator, that is pipe. So now let me check console.log of, I want to check if A is less than B or if B is less than A. That means 10 is less than 5 or 5 is less than 10. In both the case, return true. Either of the case should satisfy so that it will return us true. It will only fail when both the cases are not true. So let's check this. So you see, let me comment this out for now. So the logical operator OR does this job where you are only comparing in any of these two conditions. If one of them is also passed, just go for it. So let's see if both are true. Then also it is true. Now let's change it back. Second condition is not. Then what will happen? Then also it is true. Then finally I'll change both of them to false. Then what happens? We get false. That is about the OR operator. Now let me comment this out for now. We will go over next one. Not. Not operator. So here again console.log of, say something like, you should start like this, A less than B. For our condition we are checking if A is less than B and opposite of it. That means is A not less than B? Not 10 less than 5. Is it true? Yes, because A 10 is greater than 5. It is not less, correct. So let's try that. It is true. So you can give in this way, or the next conditions comes into picture where we are comparing. If we are clear about the assignment operator, then I'll go with the comparison operator. I believe, sorry, not comparison, my bad, logical operators. There are only 3 conditions we have, and, or, and not. We covered all 3. If you are clear with assignment operators and logical operators, I'll go on with the comparison operator. Okay, so I take it as a no. I'll go on with the next one, which is the comparison operator. Where did I go? You. Yeah. So within operators, we'll create one more file, comparison operators.js. Now, what do we have in comparison operators? So we have something like equal to. What does equal to mean? We are checking if A is equal to B, then return true or false. So let's start with var A equal to 10 and then B equal to 10, then C equal to 20. So, we have different numbers and we can go with each of them. Console.log of A equal to B. The very first one, node operators. So comparison. You see it is coming as true. This returns true because it is 10, sorry, 10 equal to 10. Now let's go on to the next one. Console.log of a less than or equal to b, which means we are checking if 10 is less than or equal to 10. This again becomes true. See, this is again true. Then let's go on to the next one and comment this for now. So console.log of now let's try greater than, c greater than or equal to a. Let's check this. Yep, it is true. Now the other way around, let's check the other condition. A greater than or equal to c. It should return false. So the same way we are checking. So equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Then I'll go with not equal to. So in our case again, console. Let me take this one only. This is greater than and this will be not equal. Not equal. So we tried in logical operator not condition. So in comparison operators we can see not equal to. When you have two symbols together, then you can make out the difference. So let's see if they are not equal to. Yes, they are not equal. Now let me give b because they are equal to, so it will return false. Now we have the other key ones. Let me go over them. So the ternary operator. This is something little different than what we have seen till now. You would use question mark and colon. So what does this do? Say suppose that you have a condition, something like var d equal to if a is greater than b. So it checks if a is greater than b, then it will assign a. Question mark, it will assign a. And then if it is not, then in that case it will assign b to d. The condition goes this way. Me tell again, it will check if a is greater than b, then assign a, which means the first one which you say, if it is true, if this condition is true, then assign a, else if it's false, then assign b, which means the last part. Now let's print d. Okay, so basically we will not see the difference because we have a and b the same value. So I'm using c now. So please remember to change it in case if you are executing with me. Otherwise you will not see the difference. So you see, what are we trying to do? A has 10 and C has 20. So we are trying to see if 10 is greater than 20. No, in our case it is false. So what happens? We are going to the false condition, which is C. So D will have whatever the C contains, that is 20. So let's see, less than. So now it is changed to 10. So far are we there? Any questions here?
Yeah, Shreya, but where D, right? Can you explain one more time? Because I'm
Yeah.
trying on my system and then I'm stuck. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, it is like checking the condition. So A is less than C or not, it is checking. What value we have in A? It's 10. And then 20. We are comparing A to 20.
A is
If
less.
10 is less than 20, yes, the condition is true. Then whatever we have next to question mark will be the value taken to D.
Okay. So
And
if
if
now in this case it's A, so we will get 10, right?
correct,
That's what you said.
yes,
Yeah, when it
correct.
is C, then we get the value of C as 20. Okay, now I got it.
Correct. Yeah. If
Mm.
this condition becomes false, then whatever is next to colon will be assigned. If this
Mhm.
condition becomes true, whatever next to question mark will be assigned.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the next one. So the next one you would see is the equal value and equal type. So what
Sorry to
this
interrupt. Hello,
yes,
Shreya, can you hear me?
yes, Sandeep. Yeah, go on. Okay, I think back to mute. Okay, I'll go on. So equal value and equal type, that is three times we are giving equal, equal, equal. So what we are checking is if A is of same type as whatever the condition is. So that means let me go over and comment this again. So say now I'll check if A equal to var E equal to hmm, how do I give this? Or maybe I'll just go with the console directly. Console.log of A equal three times we are giving equal to or we are checking V. So basically we are checking if the type of A matches with the what is there on the right side with V and is the value same. Okay. So
Yeah,
in that
sure. I lost my network. Now I will join again. In the above, like you mentioned, var d equal to a less than c. Then after that, you mentioned for a question mark and a double quotation for c. How? I mean, I'm not completely not clear for that one. Can you please explain for one more time?
uh, you mean the ternary operator?
Just for the-
Okay, sure. So basically we are checking what value A has and if it is less than C, what C has. So that is 10 less than 20 if the condition is true. If whatever there in the bracket, if this condition is true, then whatever is next to question mark will be assigned to D. So
I
you give
mean,
it now.
in here, the question mark, how it will consider, actually, I'm not completely aware of the Java, how it will
Uh,
be considered.
this is a
Less
syntax.
than P means syntax.
It's actually a syntax. You write the condition first, then question mark, what value you want to pass first, and then the second value. In case if it is true, first value will be considered. In case if it is false, second value will be considered.
In case while A value is true, then again it will pass into this C, assigned to C, correct?
No, that will be assigned to D. Whatever is there on the left hand side, you see var D, for that will be assigned. Okay, let me not confuse you. Probably I can give something like even odd. Okay, so now let's consider I didn't wanted to bring this because I wanted to give this as an assignment. Say you're checking if the number is even or odd. In that case, what happens? You are dividing 10% 2 equal to 0. That means you are checking if this number is divisible by 2 or not. Then based on the value you are getting, you will say this number is even or this number is odd.
Yeah, now I got it actually. If the two number is divisible by 10, then it is even. Correct.
We went over this already in the last one, the modular section. If you had checked it, you would be able to get to know. Or else, Sandeep, we can do one thing. Let's not get deviated from the topic. If you have question on this, we will take that at the last. Okay.
Okay,
So,
please
so that
continue.
everybody can be in the same page, and let's not waste others' time as well. So yeah, back to this one. We are going with equal value and equal type. 3 equals we will be passing. And here is the condition. So what happens if you give a being number as of now, the type of, if you had tried it in the last one with the assignment that I gave you, it is of type number and this will be of type string. For now, let's try it. What happens, we will see. So it says false. No, this is not a string. It is of type a different type. So let me, in case if you haven't tried, console.log of type of a and that of type of, let me give this, what will come, we'll see that. So it's type number and string, both are not matching. Now let me change the value of a to v. What happens now? Let's see. It is both string. For now you might be getting confused what is this string and all. I will go over that. There are string functions. We will go through that later. But for now you can think this is of type text and we are checking it over the type text only. And say suppose I give something else here. We are. So what happens? It is of same type but however the data inside that is different. So you see both are strings but it is false. The last one that we have in operators is not equal value and not equal type. So here basically it will compare both the values as well as the type of it. Now what happens, say I give this 10. You see the difference in the color, both are having the same value if you see, but this is of type string and this is of type number. Now let's check if both are console.log of a equal to b. Let me do this so you can see the difference easily. Yes, it is false because they are not of same type, though it has the same value but it is not of same type. And what if I give not equal to, then it will give us true. So it's same type and same value here. Here it will be not same type and not same value. Both should be matching. Are we so far clear about these topics? If yes, then I'll move on to the next one. So we are done with the operators now. I'll go on to the control statements. So in control statements, these are like basically the conditions that you are giving, how the program should work, how it is supposed to go over. There are 3 types of control statements. These are called conditional statements. If else, if, or if else, if. That is something we call it as nested ifs. Then switch. I'll go over these in detail now. There are something called jump and then the loop. What happens in if condition? So basically there will be a condition. You are trying to check that if it is true, only then you execute a particular statement. If it is false, you don't execute that statement, but you come out of that if condition. Then the remaining flow happens. So if you have noticed what happened in our case, here, our case, what happened? Whatever I type right from the beginning, it is going in the order, it is executing everything that we are giving here. So if I don't want certain thing to work, then what will happen? What do you do in that case? We will go over conditional statements. So let me, no, not here, inside this, okay. Conditional statements. I want it out. Yes, no, okay. So inside this conditional statements, let's create one file, if statement.js. So let's verify how if works. So var a equal to 8, b equal to 4. So like the other conditions, we have created one now. We have two variables, both have some value in it. So let's go over the condition. The if statement works this way. You give if, it's the keyword, and within the brackets, the small brackets that we have, you will give the condition. Then you give flower braces, and within that you will provide the logic that you want to run. So let's give the condition. So let me write it over here. So if condition, whatever the condition is, then goes the flower braces, and within the flower braces you will give the statement, whatever you want to run. This statement will only run when the condition is true. So let me give, what do we have here? A less than B. No, this condition is false. Let me not go over false for now, because we have value 8 greater than 4. So let's say console.log. I give something like A is greater than B. Or else you can also give this way, where you come out, give A plus. So this will say the value of it, plus will say you add whatever is there with the value, and then you show whatever is there in the quotes. The same way we will do for B also. So it will say 8 is greater than 4. Oops, I was running the old one. So node, conditional statements, and if statement. So we have got the answer, 8 is greater than 4. So that is about if statement. So I'll say again, if condition, if that is true, then go over this and statement. So in case if that is false, let's say console.log, no condition is applicable here. So let's give the condition as false now. So that means I don't want line number 14 to be executed. I don't want the line number 14 to be executed when this condition is false. So let's check. Yep, there is no 8 is greater than 4 condition or message that is being printed. We only have no condition is applicable here. So we executed regardless whatever the responses condition is. So you see that condition only whatever is there within this braces will work. The rest all will work only when the condition is true. The rest all will work as is regardless. That is about if statement. Let me go to the next one. If else statement.js. So where a equal to, or maybe I can copy the entire stuff. You can also do the same thing. So what happens in if else condition? So we know if condition works this way, where the condition is executed first, and if the condition is true, then it will go inside the braces and then it will run. Whereas what happens in the if else case, we provide else at the end of if statement. So that is like else I'll say another statement. Probably I'll give you statement 1 here, statement 2. This will execute only when condition is false. So we have 8 and 4. We know the first condition if it is greater than or less than, and we will go over the else condition post that. Console.log of. So we say a plus is lesser than b. So let's run this. If else statement. So we have 8 is lesser than, did I make any mistake here? Yes, I made a mistake by giving the condition in reverse. 8 should be greater than b, that is 8 should be greater than 4. If that is a condition, then it will show this as true. 8 is greater than 4, no condition is applicable here as usual, and let me make this 14. Now what happens? It says 8 is lesser than 14. No condition is applicable here. Only those two will be displayed. So we are basically choosing in what condition or in what order the execution should happen. So in this case, we are skipping line number 16 because the condition has failed or is returning false. So in case if this is true, in that case we will skip line number 17 till 19. That means we are not going to execute else statement. That is about if else statement. Now let's
Yeah,
go. Yep.
yes, for repeater. 8 is less than the 14. Whether you are modified in the above, like a equal to 8 and b equal to 14 something.
Yes,
How
I
it's coming
changed.
from 14? I just
I
figured out.
changed B to 14.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Okay. So I'll go over to the nested conditions. So if else condition with the for the flow chart, we start here, and if condition comes here, if it is true, this part of the statements would work. Then it will go on to the next ones that below the statement. Whereas if it is false, then it will execute this part. So there is no way they are mixing. Two different flows will be there. Now going on to nested if. So nested if is basically the same if else with one more condition if. So it will be like if this condition is failing, then go to else condition. And if that else condition is also failing, then go on to the next one. That way. So basically we are checking for a condition, execute that statement if it is true. If it is false, do this. And if this is true, then what am I trying to do? I'm checking for few more statements the same way. So let's not confuse over this flow chart. In case if you're getting confused, I will go over one program and I'll explain that. Nested if .js. So we will, no, I'll not copy, probably I'll create again. So it won't be confusing, where a equal to a and b equal to 4, the same condition that we had earlier. Now what am I trying to do? Here I'm not going to give any comments, so I'll give it later. So let's say a is greater than b. Then I want to say yes, console.log a is greater than b. Now what happens if I want to say else? After else we are giving if. Here is the condition that's little bit changing. So I'm saying if a is less than b, then display it's lesser. A is lesser than b. Next, after this condition, what if they are equal? I want to show if they are equal also, right? So console.log of a is equal to b. Then we come out of this and say we are out of conditions or no conditions here. Okay, so let's run this. So I'll change the value of, so a is greater than b and we have no conditions here. Let me clear this. And now what we have is, again I'll give 14 now. This time I'm giving b is 14. So we are executing the second condition. So a is lesser than b. So you can notice that we are skipping the places where it is not going inside, like where it is false. We are not going inside those conditions. We are not going to execute those statements. Now let me make them equal. A is equal to b. So we came out of two nested conditions and then we came to else condition. So that is about nested conditions. That is done. Then we have switch. Switch is very similar to nested conditions, where you have more than 2 or 3 conditions and you want to keep executing them. In such case, what will you do is use switch statement. There again we have its own syntax. Let me show how to do that. Switch.js. So let me give let day be 3. So whenever I say what is that? Whenever I see some date as a number, so I want to display what date it is, what day it is in terms of days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that. So we have 7 days and probably we give anything more than 7, that will say it's an invalid day. So we have totally 8 conditions here. Instead of me giving the conditions repeatedly and checking what day it will be, so what we can do is to use the switch statement, where it will say what condition you want to have, the same way like how if does. In switch is the keyword we are using. Here is the condition that we are giving. So for each condition you will get some value, right? So what is the value that you are getting? Based on that response, you check it. So for the case 1, we have one case. So if the day is 1, Sandeep,
Okay,
let me,
bro.
can you please
Just
mute?
a second. When it will come for a switch, exact purpose of switch.
Let me go over that. Let me finish this topic. You can ask the questions later. So what am I trying to do? I'm checking for the case. If the day is 1, then I want you to display Monday. Console.log of it's Monday. Then I don't want you to go for any other conditions, so I will say break. This is another keyword you would be using, break. It says that don't go to execute any other conditions, just finish this and come out of the statement. Console.log of it's Tuesday. So again, break. So what happens? Let me copy this and paste it. So let's edit it. Now we have condition case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6, case 7. So for all these, let's change the value to its own respective days. So for Saturday, Sunday, we have everything. But do you notice and something here? I don't have it in the right order, right? Like in case if I want to read through this document, I don't understand how it is going. So what we can do, right click, format document. Click on that. It will arrange itself for you. The indentation, everything will be followed on its own. So if you want to do anything specific, say for example, I want to do it only for this line, I can select only this and say format selection. So that way it will come back to its proper indentation. The indentation is the spaces that we have. So you see the condition starts and you can understand very clearly where it is ending also. You see, hover on that or maybe click next to it and it will show it is ending here. The same way, once you're done with this, let's execute node conditional statements and instead that switch. So we have Wednesday here. So let me give 7. For 7 it should be Sunday. The same way, what if I give 8? So our condition doesn't show anything because we didn't give anything in specific. So at last, in case none of these conditions work, so what happens in if case you will be giving else condition. So if this is failing, go to else and try to execute that. If that is failing, try to execute one more like that. So what we can do here is give default. So by default, whatever the condition is, it will go inside this. In case if none of these conditions pass, so let's say it's an invalid day. So we had given 8 as the day number. So let's run this. It will say it's an invalid day. So that is about switch case. And now I was telling you the break should be given, right? So what if I don't give a break here? At this point, so we have 1. Let's run and see what happens in this case. So I gave 1. You see, Monday is also executed, Tuesday is also executed. That means it doesn't consider this as a different condition. It will execute till it sees break. So be it you remove this, it will execute this condition also and it will show Wednesday. And then it will go to 4 and then it will execute this one also. Instead, you need to give break. So the condition goes this way. So switch the condition or whatever the value is, what you are expecting as the response, that one, and within braces you will have case and its value, that is the result 1. Then the statement 1, then break, then case result 2. then statement 2, then break. Like this it goes on. Suppose, what if you have more than one case that is having the same response? That is your actually the assignment that I had given. I would be giving, but I'll explain how it works. And not the day one assignment. So here is the condition. So what you have months, right? So January and March both have the same number of days. So if I give month, that is January, it is supposed to return 31 for me. But whereas when I give March, do I need to have to really write one more condition? Instead, what you can do is case Jan colon, then case March colon, and then give like that. You give some more, maybe like case May, then August, July, like that, each of them, and then in any of these condition, whichever is true in that case, whatever is next to it will execute, and then you give break, go on to the next one. If it is confusing, I'll give you a small program. Will not give the entire program, so I want you to try it. Switch month days .js. So basically it is like let month be, say, January. I'll give Jan for now. So switch, now we have month and the condition. The case goes like this: case if it is Jan colon, case if it is March colon, then go on case May. For now only I'll give only these 3 months. You can give it for all of them. So you will return 31, or you say console.log 31 days. Then after this you are supposed to give break, otherwise it will execute the case for 30 days also, that is March, April, and so on. 30 days. So you will write one more condition for Feb, and then that's it. Default condition, if you are giving anything apart from the days that you're months, you are giving anything, some random year, some random name or anything like that, in that case you will give it's not a month, something like that you would be giving. So let me format this document. See, back to its place, it will say all these conditions will display this one. So let's try it out. This will not work based first part. I'll tell you why. It's not showing anything. Can someone tell me why? Okay, no worries. So you see there is a capital J here. Here is the small j. So you need to make sure that they both are matching. See, you get 31 days. I'll go over the strings. I'll explain what this means, capital, lowercase, uppercase, all these in detail later. That's okay, don't worry for now. So this is about switch and everything about the conditional statements. Now we will go over the next topic, that are loops. So for loop. So basically it is like telling you want to execute the same things multiple times. So what would you do in that case? Say for example, I want to tell the number, what is it, the tables. You want to teach the kids the tables, 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 3 or 4, whatever the numbers are. Sorry about that. Anyway, the whatever the numbers are, so you basically want to calculate and display it on the screen. So what would you do? You have to repeatedly coming and the numbers are incrementing on the basis. I don't want to type the same console.log statement multiple times. So we'll give loops. So what basically I can do is to use loops. What does loop do? For loop.js. There are more than 3 types of loops. We will be covering for, then while and do while. For now, I'll explain what for loop does. Say for example, I want to learn the number 2 tables. Okay, so what I will do, for the condition goes this way. Again, I will go here. I will be saying what is the value that I want to have. If you remember, I was telling there is a code block that we will be going with. So how does this do all those things? So let I equal to 1. This is called initialization. That means here I will end it here. I'll say the first point that you will see is within the for loop, let I equal to 1 will be the initialization. Initial value of I will be 1. Then we will have the condition. I should be less than or equal to 10. That means I'm telling this is condition. Every time you go one by one and then go till 10 and not beyond 10. So I less than or equal to 10. Then I plus plus. Here we are saying either increment or decrement. So I plus plus or I minus minus, up to you. Like it depends on the different conditions that you are going to do. You will give those things. So increment or decrement. So now once this is done, the format will be within the flower braces. Again, you will give the statements. Whatever the statement be, it will execute those number of times. In our case, it is starting from 1 till 10. So it will go over one after the other. So that means it will check first time. So let's say I want to say console.log of number, whatever the number that we have here, into I. So in the first condition, so I is equal to 1, which is definitely less than 10. So this condition is true. It will go inside the loop. So what happens? First, I need to still be inside this, or maybe I'll start one more. In the first condition passes. In the first loop, what happens? We get 2 into 1. So that is I equal to 1 and I being 1 less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true. Now it will go inside the statements. That is the for loop. Inside that it will go. So that means I'm saying num being 2 into 1. So display 2 for me. Now what happens? Remember, this is assigned. This will not change any time. Let I equal to 1, done and dusted. That's it. So every time the condition will be checked. So once the statements are executed, then I plus plus will work. So that means now I is equal to 2. That is by I plus plus. So the next condition comes. So it will go over this. Now that it has completed, right? It has completed the statement, whatever is there inside the loop. It will go back again and it will start with the execution. So the second condition, what will be the I value now? Now I is equal to 2 and is definitely 2 is less than or equal to 10. Is definitely true. So what happens? Num, that is 2 into 2 equal to 4, will be displayed. Then it goes to increment, that is plus plus, and then I will be 3. Now the condition is condition 3, checking for it again. So now it will be yes, 3 is less than or equal to 10, and the value that will be displayed is 6. So let's go on, and then what happens? It keeps on happening, and then finally I is equal to 10. Now you had displayed whatever the value you want, that is 2 into 10, that is 20. And then now I plus plus. Remember, the condition works here also. It will increment. I will be equal to 11. Now if 11 is less than or equal to 10, this condition is false. Now it will come out of the loop. So let's execute this. So for let I equal to 1, I is less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. You need to remember this syntax. In case if you get any interview questions, this is what they will be checking. You should not forget semicolon here. Remember, I was telling you there will be automatic semicolon inserter. It will not work here. If you miss it, it will show an error. Console.log of num into I. So let's execute this. So node loops for, you see, it has executed. So if you want, you can change it to 20 and see what happens. Yep, 2 into 20, 40. You have got it till that point. It will go in the same order. It will keep on incrementing, and in case if you want to check the value of I, it will not give you anything. You got error. So this is what I meant by block scoped. This is a code block for I. It is only valid within for loop. Suppose we give var here. It will not throw any error. Instead, it will show you the current value of I. That is 21. So far, are we clear?
Yes, Akshay.
Awesome. Thank you. So that is about for loop. Since we have no time left, I'll go over the remaining ones tomorrow. If you have any questions on switch or any nested if or any of the statements that we went through till now, you can ask me now. Otherwise, we can wrap this call. I'll give the assignments. Hope you have tried it. In case if you haven't tried it, please go on and try. You will understand better. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Yes, Gaurav, you have some question?
Yeah. Uh, it is related with the for loop which we were just going through. Uh,
Mhm.
Shown me like how it works for the number. What if there is a string like in terms
Sorry, can you come again? You mean you want to see if it accepts string or not in this condition? I lost you, Gaurav. But anyway, if you are asking for this condition, so I would suggest that you give it in the right way. We cannot go with the increment or anything. Instead, you will only give this as the condition. So very basically, the very first condition itself will fail. Why? Because I'm giving high here, and then I want to display I. So in this case, if you see, there is no increment given here. Instead, I'm saying the var I will have high, and then if it is equal to high, then I will be going with displaying it. And in this case, it becomes an infinite loop. Reason being, I'm not giving an actual condition for it to come out. So once it is displayed, I will give a condition like hi everyone. Now what happens, I'm telling it will go inside this condition and then it will come out. Reason being, it is still checking if it has high or not, and then it will oh sorry, my bad. It will, let me copy this one. Yeah, so first thing, it will have high. I will have high in it, and then we are comparing. If I is equal to high, then only go for it. It doesn't make sense, right, to give a string at this point and use a for loop. For you can still go ahead and give it, but it won't make any sense. Instead, we can use other loops that I was talking about, while loop or do while loop, if at all there is some condition that you really want to check. But again, there is no point in going for the loops if you are not repeatedly executing it. It will only execute once. That's the point. I think, okay, Gaurav got dropped off. Anyway, he can go through the recording and he will be able to get it. The second point is, we were seeing hi everyone. That's because we were displaying I here. That's the reason. Otherwise, it will not show as per this response. Do anybody else has any questions?
Frankly, I'm telling, I'm very like, I'm not in a BTech background. Actually, I have little knowledge for a core Java, but not completely. But the right now, which we are discussing the topic for a for loop and this switch and if you condition, then it will be coming to the picture actually exactly. What is the purpose of you are going to use? Like some I have some doubts actually.
Okay, so I got your question. What is the real-time usage of if conditions or switch conditions or loops?
Yes,
So
yes, exactly.
basically, simple way to answer is when you are trying to locate some element and if it is dynamically available. If it is not currently, probably for you have a table. So in that table, you have multiple data in that. So maybe a table of employees, and each employee name you are not aware of, but you want to go through each one of them and see if it is matching with your condition. So in that case, you will be using for loop. So I want it to take the entire table and see if I am reaching the end of that table or not. Till that condition is not satisfied, then keep going over each and every row of that table. That's how for loop will be used. So basically, you don't know the number of entries that are there in the table, and you would be trying to figure out if it is matching or not. So like I was telling, you are calling out a attendance register. So out of 20 people, we have one person called Aman. So Aman could come in the beginning, or he could be in the middle or anywhere. We don't know. So I want to check if each of the name is matching with Aman or not. So how many times are you going to call the same statement? Instead of calling them multiple times, you would be calling something like this. So I will be like, go over each entry of the table and check if it's matching with the name that I want. If the name matches, then either you come out or you try checking if there is one more Aman or not. So those things you can follow. So when it
We'll
comes
use
to
this for, in this case we'll use for loop only, correct?
yeah, the one which I discussed now is for loop.
Okay, and then okay, please go ahead.
So for switch I can give an example like you have got a API response. So for each response, you are going to run the same API. Same API will give multiple responses based on the data you're passing or based on the API response, something like the server is down or anything like that. So what do you
Just a
want to show in such case? So
one
switch, I
more
will
doubt.
say service. Yeah.
No, switch case was telling like a same API. Same API means like, can you give me some small example?
I'll go and explain probably here. So it is something like let response code be something. For now, I'll give 200. Okay. So switch. I want to see what the response code is and go over each of them. If the condition, if the case, oh, sorry, my bad. If the case is say 200, then I want it to display console.log of success. Now we know this, right? By default 200 means success. Then case, let's say it is 401. That means we have something issue with the client side. Console.log of unauthorized. And now I want to end this. Then I'll go over break. That's how we will be giving. That's where the switch statement is considered. So over, like if you have too many responses, you are trying to figure it out. Instead of you basically giving something like, I want to say, if you are trying to use if condition, if response code is equal to 200, then you give console.log of something like that. That is whatever we have here, console.log of this, and then end and else if again you're checking for the same condition with a different same variable with another value now, that is 401, and then again you are going over and saying console.log of unauthorized, and then again you are checking else if. So instead of giving it multiple times, we can instead use it like a switch statement that we have. Did that clear your question, Sandeep?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Madhuri, Deepan?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm just trying for loop. Yeah.
Okay, you're trying this? Okay, great.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it did give me the correct output. Yeah. Thanks.
It gave? Awesome. How about the for loop? Did you try that as well? The condition that I was mentioning now?
Switch I did try, but yeah, for loop was working fine. Yeah, I tried for loop, but not with hi everyone. But yeah, with the number I tried and it worked.
Yeah. Basically, for loop we will be using it when we want to increment it over time. In
Mm-hmm.
other, doesn't make any sense if I only go over one condition and execute. Instead, we can directly give if statement, right? If
Mm-hmm.
I equal to high and then print this one and just come out. Done.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
thank you. Deepan, Sandeep, do you have any questions?
For me, no objectives.
Sorry, I didn't get you. Okay, then I think we don't have any other questions. Thanks for your time. I'll be sharing the assignments for today. You can go over that. Uh, Tomorrow we
Where
can
you're
discuss if there
posting
are
it,
any questions.
yeah, I didn't see any assignments from last Friday. So where you're posting this one? Am I in the channel?
It's
I'm not sure.
WhatsApp. Both there are two channels I have posted in both of them.
Oh,
Are you
maybe
not
I'm
part
not,
of it?
but yeah, but I did try, as you said, last Friday, like division, multiplication, subtraction. I tried, but I didn't get any. Maybe I'm not in there. Can you add me?
No, I think I can see you in that. Let me
Oh,
tag you for
but
that.
there are
Yeah.
multiple channels, and I'm confused.
No, I come tagged you there.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can check.
actually, yeah, you just posted. Okay. In this, you posted the assignments. Okay, I didn't see. Maybe I
Yeah.
overlooked. Yeah, sure. I will take a look. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Deepan. If we don't have any questions, we can drop off.